Amanda Cole's boots echoed through Europa Station's polished corridors as she rushed toward the council chambers. Her heart pounded against her chest. The classified files in her quantum drive weighed like lead in her pocket, proof of everything humanity had suspected for centuries. The massive doors of the Galactic Council chamber slid open. 50 representatives from Earth's colonial governments sat in curved rows, facing the 7 members of the High Council. Cold light streamed through the crystalline dome above, casting long shadows across the marble floor. "You've been lying to us," Amanda said, her voice cutting through the silence. She pulled out the drive and projected its contents onto the main display. "These documents prove the Council has been systematically suppressing human technological advancement for over 300 years. High Counselor Richard Bennett rose from his chair, his face a mask of practiced calm. "Representative Cole, you've accessed restricted files. That alone is grounds for immediate detention." "Detention?" Amanda laughed bitterly. "You've been engineering our genetics, limiting our space travel, sabotaging our quantum research, all while pretending to be our allies." The chamber erupted in shocked murmurs. Colonial representatives began shouting questions, but Bennett raised his hand for silence. "Everything we've done has been to protect the galactic order," he said. "Humanity is too aggressive, too unpredictable. Your species needs guidance." Amanda's hand tightened around the drive. "We need freedom, the right to determine our own future. That's not your decision to make." Bennett nodded to the security forces at the doors. "Seize her. Initiate Protocol 0. Amanda's combat training kicked in. She dove behind a column as plasma bolts scorched the air. Colonial representatives scattered, screaming. Through the chaos, she spotted her only escape route, the maintenance shaft behind the Council's platform. She sprinted through the gunfire, vaulting over the platform. Her fingers found the hidden panel, and the shaft door slid open. More plasma bolts exploded around her as she dropped into the tunnel. "Can't run from this, Cole." Bennett's voice boomed through the station's comm system. "Humanity will submit to Council authority or face extinction." Amanda ran through the maintenance tunnels, her lungs burning. She had to reach her ship, had to warn Earth. Behind her, security forces were gaining ground. She burst onto the landing pad just as the station's defense turrets activated. Her ship's engines roared to life as she threw herself into the cockpit. Plasma fire raked across the hull as she punched through Europa's thin atmosphere. But as her ship cleared Jupiter's orbit, Amanda's blood ran cold. The quantum sensors were lighting up. Hundreds of massive vessels were emerging from hyperspace, forming a battle line between her and Earth. The Council's invasion fleet had arrived. Commander Jack Morrison stood at the bridge of the EDF Valiant, watching Earth's hastily assembled defense fleet take formation near Jupiter's orbit. 30 ships against hundreds. The odds were brutal, but they had one advantage the Council didn't know about. Darkstorm systems online, Lieutenant Kate Hudson reported from her station. "All ships showing ready for stealth deployment." "Good," Jack said, "'cause here they come." The Council fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect attack formation. Their massive warships gleamed like steel predators against the stars. The first volley of energy weapons lit up space, turning the void into a web of deadly light. "Incoming transmission from Mars Colony," Kate said, her voice tight. "They're under heavy bombardment." "Civilian casualties." Jack's jaw clenched. "Deploy Darkstorm. Battle groups 1 through 3, execute pattern Delta. Draw their fire away from Mars." The experimental stealth technology activated across the Earth fleet. Their ships seemed to fade like ghosts, becoming nearly invisible to Council sensors. Jack watched the tactical display as his forces split into attack groups, using Jupiter's magnetic field for cover. "Sir," Kate called out, "I'm detecting something strange in their shield frequencies. There's a pattern in there." The bridge rocked violently. Council destroyer had spotted them, its weapons burning through their port armor. "Return fire," Jack ordered. "All batteries concentrate on their forward shields." The Valiant's guns roared to life. But Kate was already moving, her fingers flying across her console. "Commander, their shields oscillate on a predictable frequency. If we time our shots exactly right." "Do it," Jack said. "Send the targeting data to all ships." Kate's discovery changed everything. Synchronized fire from Earth's fleet punched through the Council's supposedly impenetrable defenses. 2 massive Council warships erupted in flames, their hulls cracking open like broken eggs. "They're pulling back from Mars," someone shouted. "We did it." But Jack noticed something wrong in the enemy's retreat pattern. He'd studied military tactics his entire life, and this wasn't normal combat behavior. He zoomed in on the tactical display, analyzing their movement. "Sir," Kate said quietly. "Message from Earth Command. Admiral Gregory wants to speak with you privately." Jack stepped into his ready room and activated the secure channel. Gregory's face appeared, grim and exhausted. "Jack, we've confirmed it. Someone gave the Council our defense codes. They knew exactly when and where we'd deploy Darkstorm. Who, we're not sure. But it had to be someone high up. Someone with direct access to the transmission cut off." Jack rushed back to the bridge just in time to see hundreds more Council ships dropping out of hyperspace behind his fleet. They'd been led into a trap. Dr. Lauren Martinez raced through the underground research facility, alarms blaring overhead. The quantum displacement device hummed behind reinforced glass, its core pulsing with blue energy. They were so close to completion, but time was running out. "Security breach in Sectors 3 and 7, the facility AI announced. Council infiltrators detected." Lauren grabbed her tablet, initiating emergency protocols. The device was humanity's last hope, a weapon capable of disrupting the Council's advanced technology. But the enemy had found them. Major Chris Reeves and his security team burst through the lab doors, their weapons ready. "Doctor, we need to move. They're using our own access codes." 5 more minutes, Lauren said, fingers flying over the control panel. "The quantum matrix is almost stable." Gunfire erupted in the corridor outside. Lauren heard screams, then silence. Chris positioned his team around the lab's entrances. "They're not just Council forces," Chris said grimly. "Some of them are ours. Sleeper agents activated after the Jupiter ambush." Lauren's hands shook as she made the final adjustments. The quantum core's energy signature peaked, then stabilized. Success. But as she reached for the device, the lab's lights cut out. Emergency power kicked in, casting everything in red shadows. Lauren saw movement in the ventilation shaft above. Chris noticed it too. "Get down," he shouted, opening fire as figures in black combat gear dropped from the ceiling. Lauren grabbed the prototype and ran for the emergency exit. Chris and his team provided covering fire, but the infiltrators kept coming. These weren't normal soldiers. They moved with inhuman precision. "The Council didn't just suppress our development," Lauren realized as she ran. "They enhanced their own agents." She reached the backup lab and sealed the doors. The quantum device needed to be secured. She began the transfer sequence to their secondary facility. Her tablet lit up with an incoming message. It was Amanda Cole, broadcasting from somewhere in the Resistance network. "Lauren, the Council didn't suppress humanity's development. They were containing it. I found records in their archives. Our species has dormant abilities they've been terrified of for centuries." The lab doors exploded inward. Council assassins moved through the smoke, weapons raised. Chris lay wounded in the corridor behind them. Lauren looked at the quantum device, then at her tablet showing Amanda's data. The truth hit her like a physical blow. The device wasn't just a weapon, it was a key to unlocking humanity's true potential. But before she could react, a familiar figure stepped through the smoke. Admiral Gregory himself, his eyes cold and empty. "Thank you for completing the device, Doctor," he said. "The Council will be most pleased." Admiral Diana Walsh watched the battle unfold from the EDF Sovereign's command deck. Operation Sunbreak was humanity's last chance, a desperate assault on the Council's strongholds throughout the solar system. "Neptune defense grid is down," Lieutenant Kate Hudson reported. She'd been promoted after the Jupiter incident, her tactical genius proving invaluable. "Strike teams are boarding their command stations." Diana nodded grimly. "Launch the second wave. Tell Commander Morrison to push through their lines while they're divided." The space around Neptune's orbit had become a graveyard of broken ships. But for the first time since the war began, the Council forces were retreating. Kate's Special Forces team had captured crucial Council technology during their raid on Europa. The data revealed the truth. Humanity's neural patterns were different, stronger. The Council hadn't been containing a threat, they'd been preventing an evolution. Admiral Kate called out, "Commander Morrison's fleet has broken through. They're hitting the Council's supply lines." Diana allowed herself a small smile. After months of losses, they were finally winning. The quantum device's destruction had unexpectedly triggered something in human soldiers across the front. They were fighting with impossible coordination, as if connected by an invisible network. Message from Earth Command, her communications officer said. Priority 1. Diana's blood ran cold as she read the transmission.
Give me Morrison?
Now, but before she could warn him, new signals appeared on their tactical display. Massive energy signatures emerging from quantum space behind Earth's defense fleet. That's impossible, Kate whispered. Those are Council ships, but they're using technology we've never seen before. Diana's tactical screen filled with urgent reports. The Council's new weapons were cutting through Earth's best defenses, like paper. Morrison's fleet was being torn apart. They were holding back, Diana realized. Everything until now was just testing us, Admiral, Kate said, her voice shaking. Look at these energy readings. They're not just attacking our ships. They're targeting specific humans. The ones showing the strongest neural evolution. Diana watched in horror as the reports flooded in. The Council wasn't trying to win a war anymore. They were systematically eliminating every human who showed signs of the awakening abilities. Her private console lit up with a final message from Earth Command. The words made her stomach drop. Admiral Gregory has activated sleeper agents in every major military installation. Earth's orbital defenses are powering down. The Council's main fleet is approaching. God help us all. Diana looked at her crew, determination hardening her resolve. They had one card left to play, but using it would mean sacrificing everything they'd fought to protect. Commander Jack Morrison piloted his damaged fighter through Saturn's rings, leading the Council fleet into the trap. His squadron had been reduced to just 3 ships, but they only needed to hold out for a few more minutes. This is it, he transmitted to the survivors. Everything we've lost, everyone we've lost, it all comes down to now. The Council's massive warships followed, their advanced weapons turning ice and rock into superheated plasma. But they were so focused on destroying Morrison's team that they missed the real threat. On Earth, Dr. Lauren Martinez worked frantically in the ruins of her lab. She'd escaped Gregory's betrayal with the quantum device's core, understanding at last what it was truly meant for. Not a weapon, a key. The network is ready, she radioed to Admiral Walsh. Every human in the solar system is connected. They just don't know it yet. Diana Walsh stood on the Sovereign's bridge, watching Earth's orbital platforms fall to the Council's control. Amanda, are you in position? Amanda Cole's voice crackled through the com. She'd infiltrated the Council's command ship during the chaos. Ready. But this will only work if every human feels it at once. Shock could kill us all. Better dead than slaves, Diana said. She opened a channel to all remaining human forces. This is Admiral Walsh. Stand by for final protocol. Jack Morrison saw the signal on his fighter's display. He smiled, thinking of everything that had led to this moment. "I see you on the other side," he transmitted, then triggered his ship's self-destruct. The explosion created a gap in the Council fleet. Kate Hudson's Special Forces team seized their chance, fighting their way to the command ship's core. They found Amanda at the main control panel, surrounded by dead security forces. Now, Amanda shouted into her com. Lauren activated the quantum device. Its energy surged through the hidden network connecting every human mind. Centuries of artificial neural blocks shattered like glass. On ships and stations throughout the solar system, humans suddenly felt each other's presence. Their suppressed potential exploded outward. Council technology failed as humanity's collective consciousness overwhelmed their systems. Diana watched in awe as her crew moved with perfect synchronization, their thoughts and actions unified. The Council's supposedly superior weapons proved useless against humans fighting as one connected entity. The battle ended in minutes. Council ships fell silent, their crews surrendering in the face of humanity's awakened power. Admiral Gregory and other traitors collapsed, their enhanced minds burning out. Amanda Cole stood in the Council's chamber once again, but this time as humanity's voice. Their species had evolved beyond the need for ships and weapons. The galaxy would never be the same. "We didn't defy the stars," she transmitted to the surviving fleet. "We became them." In the darkness of space, millions of human minds joined together, ready to forge a new future. It's not as conquerors or slaves, but as something entirely new. The real journey was just beginning.